Welcome back to the Planetside 2 Community Smash. Thank you, Lolly Smasher, for kicking things off. Jimmy, we're professionals, turn it up. Anyways, the largest battle in FPS gaming in the world. I want to give you a warning now. The match doesn't start for 10-15 minutes. I'm going to use that time to explain what it is, why it is, how it is, and what's about to happen. But if you have the foresight, or you missed out on the opportunity to watch live, you can just go to the timestamp, and that should take you to all the explosions and drama about 15 minutes from now that we'll be seeing. So, with all that said, what is... If you've missed... Jimmy. Alright, it's been a big day. What is the Planetside 2 Community Smash? No, not Smash Brothers. Planetside 2 still going strong in 2021. In fact, there's been several major updates. The Escalation update, Eddie and Bastion Fleet Carriers. We won't see those today. There's been Outfit Wars, which has a lot of competition in and of itself, no matter what your opinion. The new integration update with NANITE systems becoming the fourth faction, asterisk, and a whole suite of new weapons and vehicles throughout. And I think that has led, on top of all the other organizational tools, to what could be and should be the largest battle in Planetside 2 and FPS gaming history. So right now, the average amount of players, I'm not sure what we're going to end up with. It's hard to tell. We already got 96 lined up for competitive reasons, and we're on a delay if you're watching live. I'm not going to be showing you those players until the match is about to start. But I'm going to work my way through from the macro to the micro, if you will. What is Planetside and what we're doing here today. So we're on a custom server called Jaeger. This is the 2021 Community Smash. I believe it's Community Smash number 10. I've had the privilege of watching and casting the last few. You may have checked those out. This could be better, larger. Not always the same thing, but in this case. And we have multiple commanders on each side. We've got dozens of outfits participating. We've got more people than ever before. And we're kind of like crossing our fingers that the server doesn't explode. I mean, this will literally be the only thing happening on this server. There's no live server action happening. There's some rules, and there's only 2 teams as well. But I get ahead of myself. The Planetside 2 is a massively multiplayer online first-person shooter. So it is essentially, like most people will compare it to Battlefield. That doesn't do it justice. You can fight on the ground via infantry. There's a wide array of vehicles, from transports to battle tanks and to aircraft, some of which might argue that, especially with the Vanu, the battle tanks are also aircraft. But we're going to be seeing a lot of them today, especially focused on transport and logistics, because these are heavily organized teams. We're going to be seeing a 90-minute continent lock alert. So this is what you'll see on the live servers every day, but in the most competitive possible environment. The commanders have picked their side, well, via coin flip, on which side of this map, and it will be the new conglomerate versus the Terran Republic. The Vanu just used as a buffer here in the neutral zones to start for competitive reasons. So, first, and I think Twitch chat will enjoy this, for the new conglomerate is the Band of Poggers, commanded by Dubness, who... Wait, I want to make sure I read all this right so I don't... Yes, commanded by Dubness, starting at the Eastern Warp Gate. Oh my god. I couldn't even finish the sentence. Anyways, Dubnus will be commanding the Terran Republic. He will be the Force Commander. Of course, there's a whole split, a chain of command, and a lot of... We'll get into that. All right, let's finish the intro here. Okay, I promised a description. And then, for the new conglomerate, the team name is Team Killing. Team Killing. Because it's NC. All right, Team Killing. You got for the NC versus Band of Poggers. Could we get the Well, we didn't plan this one out. So, Dubnus versus... Okay, so it's spelled... I remember going through this last time, because he was commanding last time as well. The commander's name for the... I put him on the wrong side again. No, I didn't put it on the wrong side. Fel? Stick with me. Falcon? Is that Falcon? Falcon? I think it was Falcon. But, like, my eyes want to say Falcon. These people will not be playing a first-person shooter. They will be on this screen, and any amount of TeamSpeak and Discord or whatever communications they're using, those people are essentially the bureaucracy of their empire. They will very likely be sitting in the warp gate telling other people what to do, because when you have 500-600 plus soldiers, another gun on the field is not nearly as important as making sure you have as many trained on the right location. So they have a series of lieutenants, as well as platoon leaders and squad leaders, all the way down to groups of 6 to 12 people. Outfits from across all the servers have fielded, including mine. I hope to see my logo out there fighting for the TR. Fielded between a handful and a couple dozen players, and the teams were balanced around that. Me how many times with the Community Smash logo. I really should have worked out the names beforehand, but here we are. So what will happen? We got a few more minutes till we start. In order to capture a base in Planetside, let's pretend we're a filthy Vanu, and right now as an observer, thank you to the organizers for allowing me the privilege. I'm coming in as an infantryman, walking in. I want to capture a base. Now there are dozens of bases literally on the map. All I need to do is have a base connected and not being captured. And if I have access to, say, Beetle Eastern Depot, I come on into Whispering Pass, hang out near the control point, it flips. Usually it's 4 minutes for the smaller bases. Some larger bases have several control points, and it's a proportional amount of time. But just hang out, 4 minutes, easy peasy. Unless the opposing faction has something to say about it, and then we'll have an intimate conversation at high velocity between each of the factions, and that is kind of why we're here. So, that is the very simple version, but getting to each of those points, how many soldiers to throw into the fray, how much time it takes to capture a base, and which base you want to capture. I'll just talk in a strategic sense as someone who tries to win these alerts on the live server. The things we're going to be looking at early on. ACAN Biolab. All right, look at this base. Woodman ASE Labs. I don't know what ASE stands for. Come up with something. This base is connected to not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 different territories, and it's a single point base. In fact, we can go look. What am I doing over here? I think that base will become a significant focal point. Another one that is usually a focal point for alerts on the live server is Broken Veil Garrison for similar reasons. But the way things are set up, if either side loses those bases, it makes it a lot easier to attack a wide array of territory. And they're relatively easy bases to take. They're not the scale of something like a Nason's Defiance or something like that. So, with all that said, and that is the strategic overview, if you will, we'll have to see what the commanders decide to do early on. For competitive reasons, I can't show you, and I'm not going to show you what's happening until we start, because we are watching it live, of course. And you don't want the other side having counterintelligence operations, aka opening up the stream. So, afterwards, I will do an overview, and maybe we'll have some interviews with the winning team or the commanders. We will see. And I do have some basic guides and tutorials on Planetside 2. It's free to play, and it's not pay to win, though you will die over and over and over. It took me over 1,000 hours to get to a kill-death ratio of 1. Most people never do. Most of the players you're going to see today are much more accomplished than me, or at least have a similar amount of time, let alone the commanders who put a ton of work into this. So all credit to them. I'm just happy to be here, and I'm excited to show you the 2021 Community Smash. I will be trying to... Oh, by the way, just extra announcement. Gotta put myself in the corner. There's so much to do. Planetside 2 has updated some of the graphics. There's something called fog shadows now, on top of other performance optimizations that I personally think, especially at dawn and dusk, but that's you're seeing. I mean, maybe not great for actually playing, but if you're there for the experience, for the spectacle, well, Rel. So, with 1 minute left on the clock, I haven't seen any announcements of a delay. Sometimes just to make sure the teams are balanced. In fact, right now, the Terran Republic does have 5% more, which when we're factoring in there are hundreds of players, that is not an insignificant number. So we will see. There will be a slight warning. It looks like everybody's trying to get onto the continent. Usually, continents on the live server are capped at 900 players. Occasionally, the devs for special events will raise the cap, but the world record for players in a match of Planetside and in FPS gaming was set by Planetside 2 in, I believe, 2012. Some of you may have participated. It was 1,158 players. I'm sure we'll be getting announcements on whether we've broken that. But I will take a peek at this warp gate and see if there's anyone there.
This area is restricted.
Okay, alright, simmer down. It does appear. So, galaxy transports. Each of those carries up to 12 planet men. Many of the things... Well, first off, we're starting from the warp gates. There is no teleporting. No one is allowed out until we start. It's not like the live servers where the battle has been going on and eventually we have a battle over the continent. No. Much like many competitive multiplayer games, it is set up so everybody's waiting, chomping at the bit. And in fact, if they go too early, they will run, well, I don't know if the warp gauge... Ooh. Wow, that is you know what? I will be sometimes just, as much as I love my face and my voice, sometimes I just want to... So, as you can tell, the sides are preparing for battle. Night falls on the jungle of Hassan. And with it, the streets, the trees, the rivers, the swamps, so many swamps, will run with nanites. We'll see how many of them make it through the tree cover. Hassan, notorious for the level of tree cover. Called both lovingly and maybe not so lovingly Space Nom by a lot of players. Alright. So it does appear we do have a short delay. I was building up to the intro bit, but I think we're waiting for nightfall and maybe to balance out the faction slightly to make sure everybody's warped into the continent. But yeah, I will try to mix up, and I've cast these smashes before, but I think a mix of just enjoying the experience and also me trying to provide some commentary. Because Planetside is a very complicated game, and even I, who run, in a loose sense, a Planetside outfit, can't really comprehend, and even if I comprehend, don't... It's insane the amount of organization this takes. Like, I want to give a extra shout out to Auraxis, who is the main... Oh my god, they turned on daytime! Auraxis flipped the switch. Daytime back. But yeah, Auraxis organizing and putting a lot of work in to make sure these events run at all. So, thank you to him for allowing me to cast as well. And we got 96 plus, evening up. There's a great effort put into. If you know multiplayer gamers, they'll be like, oh my god, the other team had 4 more people. But you had 612 people. It's like, yeah, but we never had a chance. And, in this case, a 4% population imbalance is a lot. It is several dozen players, so. It looks like we're going to be starting in the gray haze. I did prefer the nighttime idea. Oh my god, I can't even... The sun's gone. This is what we're doing now, I think. Alright then. I think, well, I'm going to try to get some information on when we're starting. It looks like in the Discord servers and everything, people are scrambling to make sure everything's working. Not super surprising. Oh, the restart, like TeamSpeak and everything, I believe is what's being used to organize. Oh my god. What? Wait. I don't have power over the server. That was just for me. I've never seen it like this. I shouldn't have done that. Okay, this is why I don't take commands from Twitch chat. Oh, well, welcome to Hassan. It looks weird like this. I've never seen it like this. I think I have... Okay, well, that's why they call it Space now. You know what? Turn the fog back on. I don't want to see it. Put the fog back on. It's inappropriate. You know what? Let's go to, more strategic overviews here. Now, we're just going to timestamp it for YouTube, so. But I think the first plays for the teams, and I have no information, so I'm not giving away any secrets here, just knowing the map. One area that I think is always hotly contested, but is oftentimes avoided, just like phone calls when you're in the middle of casting Community Smash because it's daytime. Is Gourney Dam. Gourney Dam. That is a base that it's a clusterfuck. There is no two ways about it. It is the gateway to Nason's Defiance. This is a base you can take relatively easily early on. You might be like, where's the base? Yeah, right? Like,
Clear out of that area.
Oh no. I'm sorry, Rel. It's my bad.
You are in a restricted area.
I've been doing that a lot today. But it is quite literally a tiny bunker location. It's very centrally placed. It is a hotbed of activity, usually during live server alerts. But that is where you can suck up a lot of men and morale and get very little in turn. Okay. There's my chat window. I doubt they'll say anything in chat, but we're gonna try. All right, well, not anything I particularly expected, but other bases that are very relevant. Biolab, the 8cam Biolab, this isn't the live server. I doubt we're going to see any commanders throwing significant amounts of manpower into it. You can avoid it, you can circumvent it. Biolabs are relatively easy to deal with. It's just players, especially newer players, don't really understand why they're there or how to escape. And that's why they're called a biolab, because we churn them up into nanites and then put them into our beetle juices. Past this, honestly, it is with only 2 teams. You don't have the third faction aspect. You might be like, what about the purple here for the Vani? Those bases are neutral, essentially. Either side could capture them to start. And something important, and becomes more relevant on the live server, is once a timer is started, let's say the Terran Republic holds this base. They capture it 3 minutes and 30 seconds out of 4. NC, new conglomerate, they come in, last 30 seconds, their base. They don't have to restart. Most of the work's already been done. That's just being efficient. As for factions as well, we do have today the new conglomerate in the blue and the Terran Republic in the red. So each faction has its own kind of backstory, such as it is. Not particularly lore heavy. We've lost a lot of the knowledge of the war over the first 100 lives of each of the historians. But the new conglomerate, in terms of weapons and faction flavor, favors a lot of low rate of fire, high damage weaponry, and shotguns. So they'll strap shotguns to. They have an automatic shotgun. They have burst shotguns. They strap a shotgun to their fighter jets. They strap a shotgun to their cars. This is part of why the NC is well known for team killing. Between the high damage and the low accuracy of many of their weapons, it is much more likely. For those who don't know, Planetside 2 has full friendly fire. I mean, you might not be friends, but that's what they call it. So, team killing is a very real possibility, and the reason why you can't just spray and pray down a hallway, I mean, for long, before they turn off your weapons for a while, because you're not really helping anyone. The Terran Republic, on the other hand, is focused more on more bullets. They have a lot of high rate of fire weaponry, and their aircraft and vehicles as well. They have some longer range options, but overall favoring things like chain guns and just large magazine sizes, as opposed to hitting harder. They're hitting more. Just for those who don't know, the Vanu are more focused on fancy weaponry. The NC shoot big bullets, the TR shoot many bullets, and the VS shoot fancy bullets. Usually lower damage, but lower recoil and more accuracy. So I assume for this community smash, many of the players had to jump out of their Vanu spandex sweatsuits. Right now, I'm observing through one because I don't want to be joining either of the factions in order to participate. So, honestly, when it comes to weaponry in Planetside 2, now this is a definite part of why new players kind of feel like it's hard to tell what's going on. But the starting weapons are some of the best in the game. In fact, my personal favorite of infantry weapons is the NC's Gauss Saw. Between the sound, the damage, it hits harder than any other starting light machine gun. Usually takes only 3 headshots to kill, which is another thing that a lot of new players don't really realize is happening. But between the feel and the effectiveness of it, it's the most popular light machine gun, I think, in the game, just in terms of percentage, because the Vanu are kind of split between their starting the Orion and the Beetlejuice, the directive weapon. As for the Terran Republic, they don't have so much of a focus on the starting weapon. Personally, I like the MSWR assault rifle more than the T9 Carve, but it is a relatively cheap weapon to pick up early on. So there's a bit more of a split for the Terran Republic. A lot of players will play with the chain gun as well, which maybe not as effective, but it's a morale booster. That's the important part. But the faction differences, well, in terms of lore, such as it is, in my understanding, and I'm completely unbiased, the Terran Republic is attempting to bring the factions together in order to return to Earth and no longer perpetuate a war by nanite systems. More on nanite systems later. The NC are a bunch of rebellious Facebook libertarians who are like, we want to live free and have liberty and get our bonus checks. And also, we don't aim good, and we don't really care about you. We don't really have any principles or morals or ethics. And also, we're not smart enough to be Vanu. So the NC also have their point of view. And then the Vanu are xenocultist fetishists who really like to constrict their blood vessels with tight-fitting clothing in order to feel closer to the aliens TM that left behind some of this advanced technology that they're such huge fans of. So as you can see, like, they all have their own point of view. And now this is even more relevant as of recently, is NANITE Systems. NANITE Systems has been the organization made up of what we think are artificial intelligences who have perpetuated this war and the system of nanites that recreate all the planet peoples and the vehicles and all of that over and over and over. They've recently joined the battle themselves because they're like, well, you guys aren't fighting enough. This doesn't seem right. So the nanite systems join in on the side of the faction that has the least manpower to perpetuate the war even more. The real enemy is nanite systems, okay? The corporate overlords, they own the Bastion fleet carriers, they own Sanctuary, they own like half the weapons people use. Nanite Systems is the real enemy, but of course, it's hard to see that from the ground. But they are not here today. This is organized by Organics, so Nanite Systems not allowed in this battle between the Terran Republic and the new conglomerate. We are slowly, what I think is happening, and now this is tough to do, but I think we're shifting a small amount of people from the Terran Republic to the new conglomerate to make it fair. Because while this is a competition, the prize is pride. There's no cash prize. There's no money on the line. There is trash talk for the next 6 months to a year. And if there's anything planet peoples are good at, it is trash talking for a long amount of time over sometimes completely inconsequential things. But I would argue the community smash is definitely something of consequence. And this might be the biggest one yet. I don't know the numbers right now. I'm sure we'll get them afterwards, but we will see. Yeah, I'm trying to get some info. Don't worry. The people on YouTube are gonna be like, you said you would skip past like 10 minutes. Like, but the timestamp is 30 minutes. Well, organizing 1,000 people is not the easiest thing to do. So I just hope we get something of a warning. That's what I'm hoping for here. Let's talk more about vehicles. I'm not sure. Usually in the community smashes, things like air-to-ground aircraft are banned. There are referees who can ban people from the custom server if people are breaking the rules. Though usually it's like, please stop, and then you get kicked off. But a big thing is going to be fast transport and logistics. So the main ways to get around in Planetside are, 1, redeploying. That's the simplest one, and it's also clunky and hard to use well, especially without support logistics. But we're going to talk about the things that are going to be most relevant in the community smash. 1, as you've already seen a bunch of, the Galaxy Transport. Her big belly can hold 12 planet men, or women, or robots recently. And drop them on any location. The Galaxy Transport and the Valkyrie, the smaller version that can hold up to 6, they provide safety from fall damage when you jump out. So that is you got like a NANITE air shield or something, whatever. So this is essentially your medevac and your smaller medevac. They do have guns. So we will see potentially them fighting each other, and of course there is collision between vehicles and other vehicles, vehicles and people, vehicles and the Terrain Republic. So that is potentially relevant as well. But Galaxies are the premium choice, especially early on for getting around. There's also squad beacons. Each squad of up to 12 people can have 1 squad beacon active. That squad beacon, I'm sure we'll see the pillars of light into the sky as the battles go on, can be easily killed, but while it is active, anywhere on the continent, anyone from your squad, when they go down, can be reanimated into a drop pod, if you've ever seen the trailer, and drop down onto a part of the battlefield where they're most useful. So that does have a cooldown of 5 minutes for each player, but you can rotate through squad members. A key point, it has to be facing the sky. There has to be open air above. You can't place it in a building. So that means, 1, it's a little more vulnerable to being killed, and it's very easy to kill. A few bullets will do it. And 2, a lot of the time you'll see players try to get them in locations that are hard to get to. Top of buildings, in trees, that's a common one. Another key point, when the drop pods come down. They're not like teleporting. They're just an aircraft. They're an aircraft significantly affected by gravity, okay? But if you hit anything on the way down, other aircraft, a tree, you're liable to either die or go off course. So, and it has some rudimentary control. It's got air rudders, stuff like that. Dropping and dropping out of drop pods with your squad into the middle of the fray, 1, is going to be happening a lot here, and 2, is one of the most, it's your Space Marine. I like my Space Marine games, you might have noticed. And it is your most Space Marine experience. The orbital drop teams are going to be very relevant. Since there is, I believe, no construction setups, we won't get into that, so no routers. There are also Sunderers, but there are no anvils in Community Smash, which are the droppable vehicles, but that's something more for the live servers. It looks like we have almost balanced out the teams. I believe that has been what is happening. Hard to do. Remember, right now we're at 1,100 players. So a 1% difference is already a squad of players. In other games, like it's not one person. That is a percentage. That is not a number. So, and a squad of players can make all the difference. Probably not a huge difference, but we want to get this as close to fair as possible because remember how the salty planet people can be. All right. I do want to point out, I guess we'll do some advertising. The integration update for Planetside 2 is live, and anyone can participate. It makes the NANITE systems, curse be, free to everyone. If you are a member, which is the paying member every month, you can pick a home faction and you can fight with your outfit, but with the new suite of weapons for NANITE systems, which are very cool. My favorite part is the sound design of the new weapons and such. So just something to check out. Like if you're coming back, then you have access to that right now. I mean, I personally am one of those people, like, you really uninstalled. It was like 15 gigs. Like, that's like a quarter of a Call of Duty hotfix. Yes, but the game made me punch 4 holes in my wall with my mouse, which was also crushed, and the shards of it went through my hand, which I took a picture of and sent to REL so he would balance NC Maxis. It's like, you know, maybe not the game for you, but we will see. And we're almost there, almost as even as we're going to be. And in fact, like the insignificant percentage. I'm not the only caster of the match. Especially if you're watching live, you can check out other perspectives as well. But we're getting close. I can feel it. And also I can read numbers.
The numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you.
Oh my, they're moving out of the warp gate. Is it happening? I mean, this implies it's happening. This heavily implies it's happening. No. Well. I see no other reason they'd be moving out of the warp gate. I don't see a timer for the alert. Maybe we should just get a impromptu timer. I'll allow Twitch chat to do that. Welcome to the Community Smash 2021. Starting things off out of the new conglomerate warp gate. A spread of galaxies heading all directions here. An impromptu start, but we balanced up the teams. And now, Team Killing versus the Band of Poggers. 600 versus 600, give or take. The battle will be joined at Construction Site Beta. It looks like the TR managed to get there first. So far, dropping out. New Conglomerate got there in greater numbers, but the point is already taken. It is a neutral point, so whoever has it at the end of 4 minutes, and somebody will have it, will make all the difference. You can see on the mini-map how much time is left. I'll be trying to dip in and out of ways to get information. Right now, 53% for the NC, but the TR are entrenched. Let's see across the board. It looks like the Terran Republic. Acan Southern Labs, first target. It's going to be a successful attack, at least so far. Gourney Dam. First tap by the NC, but the TR are on the way. Hunter's Blind. It looks like, well, that battle's heating up. It takes a little longer to get down there. But yes, chaos to start and chaos to continue. This is the battle to watch to start. The first major conflict. Because right now the TR have less manpower here. But they do have the point and they have a disgusting position. Some of these construction sites have been under construction since Hawson was released. So you will see several bases that look very similar. So many vehicles from the NC. I'm surprised to see so many tanks on the outside. The Terran Republic holding strong. So far, it looks like 96 plus. It is hard for me to tell. I'm technically Vanu here. But at least 48 for each side. More for the NC. Sunder is trying to fire in the doors. No, I'm not. Don't judge me. Max is trying to break through. The balcony is held by the Terran Republic. New Conglomerate Max is holding their shields in front. Everyone constantly spotting for enemies and everywhere they look. 1:40 on the clock. Every time you take a base, I mean, we went over the strategic implications, but being able to deny your enemies the ability to push forward. Oh, looks like this. They're breaking up the Maxes in front. Grinding through the malleable infantry, leading the charge, and with it, clearing out one balcony. The Terran Republic well entrenched on the other side, though. The NC have taken one side of the base, exchanging fire. Whoever has... There's a no man's land on the point. The NC trying to close the distance. It's contested. One brave planet man makes his way and gonna start flipping it towards the NC. That will leave 1 minute on the clock. 46% Terran Republic. New Conglomerate breaking through. Grenades, C4. Res grenades as well. A harasser. A harasser. Oh no! Just driving over the Terrans. And with it, the NC look like they will secure this point. One of half a dozen battles to start things off.
Unacceptable.
Let's see. ACAM Southern Labs looks like it's going to be grabbed. There's a huge contest at Gourney Dam. A solid breakthrough. One of the hardest things to organize is breaking an entrenched position like that. But the NC able to do so. Flying past Nason's Defiance. Gourney Dam. We see some Winter G tags holding the line. 50-50 on the points. I don't know how these harassers are getting involved in everything. Somehow they made it. NC trying to break through. Lightning's on the outside platform, and it looks like the Terran Republic will hold on to this one.
We've lost the facility.
Yeah, that's gonna keep happening. The NC gonna try to take it with one last push, but the bases start to shake out. Oh, this is a pretty large attack. It looks like Gourney Dam still contested. We're gonna hold here for a bit. We're just looking for the best fights to start. We'll talk about the strategic implications as time goes on. We'll get a timer up there soon. The NC dropping in more from galaxies, starting to overwhelm the defenses. Is there a back cap of any kind? Nason's Defiance is starting to be flipped. 3-point base, a whole lot of effort. The Terrans are holding, but they're outnumbered 3-1. And it looks like that'll be enough to break through. The NC clear out Gourney Dam, but 4 minutes on the clock. Now, this isn't a point system. It's just whoever has more territory at the end. And you know how we're going to determine that? Oh my god. The Terrans look like they're trying to hold. I'm going to log back in, because sometimes that helps with just Planetside things. But hopefully you're enjoying the battle so far. After this short commercial break, we will be back to the action. Thank you for tuning in to Planetside 2 Community Smash 2021. Hey everybody, I'm Winter, and I'm here to say Planetside 2 is free to play, you cheap bastards. Check it out today. Hey, you haven't played for many years? Is it still pay to win? I don't think it ever was, but maybe it was. It definitely isn't now. You just can't aim. Thank you for tuning in. Good luck, have fun, and have a good death. Oh, I realized you could have just gone to this tab. Territory control. Yeah, that's much more relevant right now. We're gonna get the timer up. I'm gonna find a good battle and get the timer up. We're 10 minutes in. Broken Vale Garrison. Now this base is a bit of a mess to take. The second floor holds the point, but above it, just a few meters away, is a roof that can be dropped on and ridiculous lines of fire from all around. A huge battle continuing.
Will you truly allow yourself to lose?
Jimmy! It wouldn't be a Planetside event without technical difficulties. I swear we had this set up. But no. Oh my god, the battle continues over Broken Vale.
The Terran Republic has taken the facility.
And there we go. All right. The Terran Republic takes the facility at 51%, pushing... Oh my god, they're taking construction site beta. The galaxy's exchanging fire as they look to drop off their payloads. Construction site beta is still the point of contest. The gateway to the rest of the continent. The NC not willing to give this up, and for good reason. They will clear off the Terran Republic with just 20 seconds left. This isn't the base I expected to be a contest here. Yet here we are. Alright. The NC hold. Right now, across the board. Shock Fusion Lab. Hurricane Secure Storage. Gourney Dam. Still a massive battle as Hunters... We're gonna spend the first 30 minutes or so just focusing on the largest battles we can. That's Planetside, right? But as time goes on, we're gonna have to focus on the... It's very hard for me to keep track of the plays here because I can only react to the moves these teams are making. I kind of, at this stage, after we see how this battle shakes out, I'm just going to stare at the Terran warp gate. All right? We're going to see how they organize here. Without the ability to just teleport with routers, or really reliably having spawns all across the
Leave
map.
the restricted area
Okay,
immediately.
I'm trying. So, a key point is your squad can spawn into your Galaxy, or your Valkyrie, or any other squad transport. That means when one member does have that air transport, the rest can hop in, essentially, from across the continent. It takes a little bit of time. But overall, that is one of the more reliable ways of moving around as a group. What do we have here? The TR pushing in to NC territory at construction site Epsilon. The NC stuck on the high ground platform near their spawn room. There's a long ways to go. This is a relatively small battle, but across the board, the entire front, territory is even. Each base counts for a certain amount. It will become more clearly. Oh, a huge push from the new conglomerate. Looking to break through.
Do not falter.
Vanu creepily watching from the distance with an observer cam. Classic Vanu move. Trying to break through the door. There are dozens of Terrans trained on that door. But there are dozens more new conglomerate ready to break through. C4 doesn't discriminate, and neither do the NC. Multiple hard light barriers, but the NC still breaking through. No matter how many go down, it's about how many get up. The Terrans are holding 90 seconds. The NC still out popped here. The numbers do not favor them, at least not yet. Reinforcements are required. Will they get them? A battle on every... On the live servers, there's literally not... The player count limit, which we don't have here, limits the amount of battles that can be happening. Usually it's around 900 for stability of the server or other silly things like that. Which means not every base can be contested, just several major fights and a half dozen smaller ones. Here, there are 100+ player fights across the entire front, essentially. And the front is being pushed back by the band of poggers. This base does not look like one that's going to be retaken. The NC are driven back to the spawn with 20 seconds. There's not enough time. This ain't happening. Haid Skydock, a 3-point base. Hatcher Air Station will hold. Gourney Dam, continually contested. The NC, so this is something, they're both of the warp gates are towards the northeast and northwest. Anything towards the south, yeah, the TR is winning in the north. They will take construction site Epsilon.
Has taken the facility.
But the new conglomerate is working to the distant south. Southgate checkpoint right now. Looks like the largest battle is continuing to happen at Gourney Dam. Gonna head over there. Through the trees. No load screens, no nothing for those who don't know Planetside. You could fly this same route in an aircraft, though many people would fail to survive it. Plenty of accomplished pilots will manage it. Where is Gourney Dam? Where am I? Oh, we're over Nason's Defiance now. Do I not know my Hossin well enough to go? I do. It's just I'm not used to moving so fast. The battle. I'm gonna give some time here. Let's take a look. The battle for Gourney Dam.
Victory has not eluded us. Fight hard. Are you not better than this battle?
Visual on hostile engineer.
The Terrans ain't winning this one. That's way too many NC. Southgate checkpoint. This base, any base near to the warp gate is rarely fought over heavily, because usually one faction on the live servers is
New conglomerate has taken the facility.
what is called, some of you might recognize the term, zerging. Getting a huge amount of players and rolling their way through. But here, in this competitive environment, these bases become surprisingly and just... I'm excited to see. I don't even know what Southgate checkpoint looks like. I fought at Gourney Dam thousands of times. I know that bunker with four little doorways inside and out. There's not much to it. But I actually don't even know what Southgate checkpoint is. That's how little. But right now, there's 96 plus battling over it. We're close. Sliding in. Oh, it's a three-point base? Yes, that means you have to have the majority of points. If you hold all three, it's significantly quicker to capture. Wow, very spread out. Only 1 point held by the Terran Republic, who has maybe a couple dozen less soldiers in the battle. But reinforcements? Is that reinforcements, or is that just another squad maneuvering in? The B point, wow, it's so spread out. It's like 3 different bases mashed into one. The A point being lost. The new conglomerate trying to push into territory from the southern flank. And right now the NC are holding throughout the hills. The Terran Republic, maybe a misplay. It looks like they got reinforcements, but it might be too little and too late. The NC, still a minute on the clock. The C point is taken. Drops from both sides. Some galaxies above. Looks like only NC. The TR trying to break over the hills.
Failure is not the path of enlightenment.
Wait. The TR got reinforcements. They now have 52%. Another squad, maybe a platoon joined. The NC have been pushed back to B. A heavily contested A point. Going back the way of the TR. The defenses were enough. Skyguard Lightning's trying to take down those galaxies before they can drop, but trees work both ways. A galaxy taken down. Reinforcements will not be arriving. More galaxies heading towards the point. Trying to use the trees as cover. And with that gal, another one down. The NC reinforcements faltering. Throughout the map, the Terrans are up to 51%, but they're starting to stall out. The NC fighting back. But this was the big play, it seems. And the Terrans are holding. Prowler on the hill. Ah. I've seen that one before. Multiple tanks starting to shell into where the new conglomerate members are. With 55%, the Terran Republic should be able to hold on to at least 2 points. It does seem this attack has stalled. If the NC don't send reinforcements... Oh, but they are taking SRP hydroponics a few hundred meters to the north. Okay, maybe more than a few. SRP hydroponics does have a strong NC present. A 1-point base. But the Terrans dropping in. I see a lot of Winter G tags on the dead bodies on the roof. Oh. But it looks like the Terrans move to defend. 60 seconds on the clock. The commander sending reinforcements from both sides, getting there as quick as they can.
This area is restricted.
70 meters from the spawn point to the control point. This is why aircraft are at a premium. Oh no. The galaxy shelling from a hill they're almost invulnerable on. As soon as you walk out of the spawn room, you gotta have other transport methods. If there are no galaxies, the Terrans will not make it onto the spawn room. Oh, but wait, a Valkyrie? That's not enough. The anti-air fire is pretty strong. Relatively few trees around here. It's now 51% Terrans. They had reinforcements, but... the NC dropping in as well. Staying mobile. They will secure this base. The numbers are here. The NC take this one. But, across the board... Nason's Defiance. The jewel of Hossin. The center base. Worth extra resources for outfits in the live server games. And also one of the hardest bases to take because there are 3 incredibly distinct points that require essentially in several dozen players minimum to hold on something like this. You gotta commit at least, I would say 100 players to take it reliably in something like this. The Terrans are not willing to let this go. They're also taking... So this is awkward. Both of these bases were captured via different methods almost simultaneously. The NC started capturing Nason's Defiance before they themselves started losing Gourney Dam. So that means this back cap, as it's called, on Gourney Dam will undercut the efforts to actually finish off the Nason's Defiance cap. Gourney Dam is the only way this will continue. A lot of time was spent for the NC. Reinforcements coming in from both sides. Multiple Valkyries. Valkyries a bit easier to maneuver and easier to get manpower on a point, though they only hold 6 players. Valkyries are your speed transports. Galaxies are your mass transports. Speaking of... No, guys! Guys! No! What are you doing? Hold it together, but the Terrans dropping reinforcements. The new conglomerate dropping reinforcements. The battle for Gourney Dam heats up once again. 90 seconds on the clock. The Terrans are turning it. More Valkyries. NC Valkyries. TR Valkyries. Rides of the Valkyries. I'm not sure how many of these are reinforcing, how many of these are just gunships right now. Oh my god, the squad beacons! A dozen beacons light the sky, though quickly taken out by both sides. You can kind of tell who's focusing on it more by how many red beacons.
Failure is not the path of enlightenment.
It does look like the Terrans will take this back, though the NC actually have 50% territory. SRP hydroponics plus some more effort to the south. Well, Gourney Dam's gonna switch that. NC gal. Was it a decoy? Well, it looks like it had half a dozen players. But well entrenched. The numbers. Well, the NC are starting to take the outside here. Here comes the Sunder. Wait a second. With 17 seconds on the clock, they have to kill enough Terrans to be able to contest the point. The Terrans entrenched. There's a lightning inside Gourney Dam. Is that legal? Well, it's dead now. But the NC, 9 seconds. Contested. Terrans crumbling, looking the wrong way. So many going down. The NC flip it back. And the reinforcements are broken. Despite an entrenched position, the new conglomerate organizes a last 10 seconds retake.
Spotted an enemy heavy.
And they will hold. To Gourney Dam, at least for now. I didn't think this would be a heavily contested base. I thought it would just be like occasional fights, but it does seem to be the focal point of the smash so far. Southgate checkpoint is getting overwhelmed. The Terrans underwater, but they are taking Wainwright Armory, another one of those bases that rarely gets a big fight on the live servers. As both sides cut deep into other angles of territory, the NC cutting off the south, and the north going to the Terrans. Once again, the construction sites. As you see the reinforcements coming to the front. Construction site Epsilon, but Wainwright Armory, of all places. The open hill here, a huge amount of Terrans. I like how you can just see. So we are on a custom server, which means a lot of players don't have their names, though a lot of them tried to rename and have outfit tags because we're using custom server accounts. So that is why you got so many numbers and such in there. Okay, so how does this shake things out? This is an interesting strategic situation. Oh my god, Nason's Defiance. Wainwright Armory is one thing. Nason's Defiance is several others. Will the Terrans move to defend? There's 90 seconds. Which, a lot of the time, seems like forever. But the commanders are moving fast. 48 to 52%, but the NC have all 3 points. B point being contested here. The Terrans do have the ability to spawn in as well. Looking to the sky for reinforcements. There's a ton of air cover on this base. B point retaken. C point contested. NC hold. C point, quite an area to get to. A and B are well outside the main platform.
Clear out of that area.
The Terrans. But the Terrans take 1 point back. They can't seem to hold more than that, though. This battle is escalating.
Failure is not the path of enlightenment.
Papa, please. I'm just here to watch, okay? Typical Vanu. So, as you can kind of see it in the way the territory is set up here. Nason's Defiance is quite a cutoff. And I think it's worth at least 2% territory overall, as well as giving an opportunity to at least start to contest some of those inner bases. You can see a couple more galaxies coming in. You can see them on the minimap, and now you can see them in the air. Sending in reinforcements. Oh my god, overwhelming, dropping a rain of blue onto A point, which is the only one held by the Terrans, fighting fire with much more dramatic fire. Meanwhile, during this, C point is flipping. A small squad looks like they are able to balance out these losses for now. Shock tech plant. A tech plant fight. Iconic. We'll come back to Nason's Defiance if there's time. But a tech plant is probably the closest you get to a set-piece battle. It's a relatively contained location that is very hard for vehicles to participate in. Everybody knows their way around. Everybody who's played Planetside for a while knows their way around it. There's only a few entrances into the point, but once you're entrenched on this upper balcony here, as well as holding the platform, which is on the second floor of the main plant, there are only a handful of ways for the defenders to actually retake the point. There is a series of lifts and boost pads, a place called Rabbit Hole that you can access from the spawn room instead of just walking across, but that does kind of make it like a, oh well, and here we are, the rabbits, or the wolves. We will see. Max is popping up. Not much time on the clock, 53% TR. The NC know all about it. C4, grenades. Not enough revives for the Terrans. This push shut down by the new conglomerate. A valiant attempt, though not... The manpower is enough. The force multiplier is the high ground. There's even a Sunder somehow on the point. The Terrans committing a lot to this. They don't have much time for another attack. Looks like at least one platoon is attacking through the balcony from the high ground as well. They're holding it, but breaking through these double doors is going to be a struggle. 30 seconds on the clock. Is there another coherent attack in time? The point is a long way away from anyone. If they're gonna break through, well, they're not. With 43% to 55, and that's the beauty of tech plant defense. The NC will take a big victory on the northern half of the map. No, shields, I actually get blocked by shields, which is... Wow. We gotta go out the old-fashioned way. And that is a big win. Now that's another angle of multiple lattices here. Now the attack deep. Fort Liberty! The NC's, I guess, ancestral home, or at least they like to claim. Fort Liberty is under attack by the Terrans. Was it worth the loss of a tech plant? The aircraft from both sides scattered. Fort Liberty, a single point base. The NC redirecting from the tech plant now, I bet. Several of those platoons. Now this, it's nearing the warp gate, which just kind of cuts the map in half. It's actually beneath the base is where the point is, but getting down there even as an observer is a pain, so we're kind of seeing what happens up here. Max is dropping in. Oh, a huge reinforcement, but it doesn't matter.
The Terran Republic has taken the facility.
The Terran Republic has taken the facility, but strategically, I would say, right now, I like the NC's position with less than an hour to go. It's still close. Both sides are still moving around the whole map right now. But the NC are undercutting a lot of the Terran gains. And these are not bases that are hard to retake, in my opinion. These are bases the NC can easily get back. Nason's Defiance held for the Terrans. Genesis terraforming. That's I really didn't think this would be a contested base at almost any point, because it's pretty deep on the eastern side. Remember, we started cut down the middle. It's a hard-to-take base. The Terrans must defend. I believe they are, but we're trying to jump over there. I can't redeploy. I can't even redeploy like the players can. I have to fly. So, we have to enjoy the sights and sounds of Hawson here as night falls. And the battle for Genesis terraforming begins. Let's take a look.
Enemy medic spot. Spotted a hostile
You are in a restricted area. A new conglomerate has taken the facility. Will you truly allow yourself to lose? The Terran Republic has taken the facility.
The Terran Republic has taken the facility, but they stand to lose half a dozen bases. They've pushed all the way to the new conglomerate warp gate. But they have a tenuous line of attack. They must defend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bases. They gotta do it now. There's not enough time left to be starting from square one or square negative one. Reinforcements to the front. But what about the back line? Broken Vale Garrison will be broken by the NC, uncontested, and this cuts off this entire attack. This feels like a strategic blunder. There are galaxies flying every which way. Well, not every which way. They're obviously all flying towards the front. Oh my god. The Terran strategy is to cut off the whole goddamn map. No, stop it, guys. Oh my god. No. No, this is... No. If they cut off all of the warp gate bases, well, guess who gets the rest of the... No, 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 no. Stop, stop, stop. This is not how you play. This is wrong. This is essentially like in StarCraft, if you lifted your main base, brought all your SCVs, and tried to build a planetary next to their base. No, that's not how it works. They're down 20%. The only way this works, they have to cut off the warp gate. Oh god, this is a terrible idea. I mean, it's very dramatic, but this is not a, like, oh my. They're trying to annex Hossin. Oh my god. Can they... they've already got overwhelming forces on last hold and Sharp's run. This is a terrible idea. But they're capping both. They're going for the continent. Oh my god. There's no way. There's no way. Well, I mean, this is about as dramatic as you could ever... You literally can't go for more than this. The Terran Republic is going not for a base, not for a series of bases, not for Gourney Dam, not for Nason's Defiance, not for Ixtab Amp Station, not for any of the half a dozen construction sites. They're going for Hossin. The battle is to hold Hossin. So, by God. Wow. Oh, I mean... Well, the battle continues. Sharp's run is being overrun by the NC, and if they hold on to that, they hold on to the entire southern half of the continent, which is more than 50%. They have to have everything. And they have to fly all the way across the map. Sharp's run, there's more Valkyries than players in most bases. I don't even know where the point is. Oh my god! It's not gonna hold. The NC break through. The Continent Gambit. Just having one squad across the rest. Every Terran is here. Every Terran, they have to do it. They have to have this. They must. Because even one squad of new conglomerate is taking the rest of the entire continent. They must have every base along the warp gate. Last hold and Sharp's run. The Terrans will hold Edgewater, and they're holding last hold. They will get that. And then I guess we're sending 1,200 players to Sharp's run and 4 to anywhere else. That's what we're doing. We're sending 1,000 players into this battle as a strategic necessity. Everyone. Who do you want at this base? Everyone! I mean, typical Terrans. Is it gonna work? I don't know. Even then, they still have to capture all these bases back. Like, we're assuming it works, which is by no means a guarantee. They've retaken Sharp's run, by the way. Like, Edgewater Overlook, the whack-a-mole of the warp gate bases. Oh my god, they're losing everything. Everyone's here. Everyone. You can't afford to not have everyone. The largest battle for any point room in Planetside, in possibly the history of Planetside. I'm gonna lag just from the nameplates. I estimate 200-300 here right now. There's still 100 plus. No, it's more than that. It's more than that. It's just we can only see what's directly in front of us right now. The amount of aircraft up there, The drops coming in. Still overwhelming amount of NC squad beacons. The Terrans evenly matched in numbers. They do have the points. The drops coming in. I'm looking for Terran galaxies. Once last hold is taken, Edgewater right now is only 4896 total. They are losing everything. They're losing everything. The base, the point, they're breaking through! Let the bodies hit the floor! Res grenades are good, but not good enough. The NC will take this back 2 minutes, it's still flipping. Last hold will flip in 15 seconds. Edgewater Overlook contested. The rest of the continent is gone. Yeah, like the nameplates. I'm reaching the limit of nameplates. Look at this. More nameplates render whenever I look directly at them. I mean, that's usually how it works, but usually you'll see the ones on the edge of the screen. No, I think it's like 100 at a time or something. They've cut up. They've annexed the northern territories, but they're losing everything along the border. It comes down to Sharp's Run. I will say, they're making it real dramatic. This is not conventional Planetside. This is something you could never do on the live server, because you can't get everyone to agree to this extent. The battle for Sharp's Run will continue, and the battle for Hawson with it. Edgewater Overlook becomes the contention point now. With multiple platoons of NC holding the point, will the Terrans attempt to retake? Or will they just go for Sharp's Run? Technically, Edgewater Overlook only connects to the center lattices, which is an awkward situation. Okay. Alright, Terrans. Make a play! I don't know, like... I'm looking... Where are they? Where are they? Galaxies, I see red tracers. Oh, the Terrans are dropping on Edgewater. They're contesting Edgewater. We gotta get inside. They will retake Edgewater Overlook. Let me out of this room. Oh my god. The hard light barriers are blocking me. Is that a gap? Hello. Wait. Okay, it's going back towards the TR. Valkyries from the NC piling in. Everyone piling in. Sharp's Run will be retaken solidly. There's 1 or 2 squads being tasked by the TR. It looks like they want to stop the bleeding along the front, for whatever that matters. They don't want to lose every base, just in case. But hey, this is all their eggs are in this basket.
You are better than this. Show them.
This is the Warp Gate play, the annexation play. This is everything. They've lost far too much to play a conventional match now. Oh my god. They're losing last hold. The gamble. The gamble has yet to fail, but it's becoming less and less likely. Well, it's still in flux. They're losing so much. Like, the physical amount of time it will take to... Well, if your opponents have no territory, then you win. Okay? That's it. If at the end of all this, they hold the Warp Gate, then the NC have nothing. They have a bunch of things they can't get to. The battle continues for Edgewater. Sharp's Run is contested. Last hold, holding. 50-50 across the board. Several hundred players on each base, piling into these tiny rooms. The NC take back Edgewater, but it is held by the TR. They are the defenders. Oh my god, the NC squad beacons light up the night sky. Yeah, without Edgewater, they cannot touch Sharp's run. They need this. The TR must have Edgewater as a connection. Even if it's cut off, they could still use it. That's how the NC are taking the rest of the continent. But Last Hold is falling as well. The Terrans, just a handful of minutes from annexing Hassan. But the new conglomerate are punching back. Oh my god. The convoy of Sunderers. I don't even know where they came from. But they're here now. How many? The point is held by the new conglomerate. I don't think at this point the TR can afford to lose anything. Edgewater's been retaken. Last Hold. Well, aptly named. The Terrans must have this back. A firing squad on top of the stairs. 90 seconds. The Terrans outnumbered. Losing the rest of the continent. The NC are slowly working their way towards warp gating the Terrans. In which case, a base trade, I think, would heavily favor the NC. 1 minute on the clock. The NC are holding the hill. Where are the galaxies? One gal. Is there going to be...
Are you not better than this rabble?
Those look like battle gals. I mean, they still have Edgewater. And while they still have Edgewater, the play is on the board. There's no coming back from this. There is no... Like, even if the NC just all logged off right now, if the TR don't, like, obviously that would mean they get warp gated, but, like, if somehow the NC held Last Hold and Sharp's run, and then everybody else logged off, the TR could not take back this much territory in the amount of time left. Literally now, they have put themselves in a position, for better or worse, that, it comes down to this. It's been a weird night, okay? And in the morning, we'll see. As dawn breaks over Hassan,
A new conglomerate has taken...
we will see if the Terrans have made one of the largest possible strategic blunders, or if their ridiculous gamble pays off. It's not over yet. Not while they hold Edgewater. But it's not getting any easier. The battle for the warp gate. The sheer amount of galaxies physically blocking, not even with bullets, just their bulk is like they're blocking, they're force fielding out drops. The force field is made up of galaxies. The Terrans can't even drop on this point without running into a air wall of gals. Oh no.
A new conglomerate has taken the facility.
A disaster. This NC gal attempted to ram. The Battle Gal team seems like they're not having any of it. It's a absolute disaster on the rest of the continent. Hey, it was dramatic. It was exciting. It was incredibly risky, and it seems like it will secure the new conglomerate's victory. With Edgewater being retaken, the warp gate being re-secured, the potential for a cutoff and an annexation of Hawson crushed. The Terran Republic is left with very little. 14% is not a recoverable number. The NC now, after the hectic night, can breathe. And they can, the squads and platoons can go their separate ways. And there are almost no wrong choices. A conventional reacquisition of territory is unlikely. I'd love to say, well, you don't know, but it is there's math. You cannot speed up bases past 4 minutes in most cases, and you cannot take bases that are cut off. So even if the Terrans say take Bravada PMC, 4 minutes, give or take, 4 minutes, 4 minutes, 4 minutes. There's not so many 4-minute blocks left.
Generator repaired.
The Terrans still have the manpower. In fact, they have a few more soldiers. They may have tried to leverage those into that cutoff. But territory control is harsh.
Are you not better than this rabble?
Apavanu is very critical, even if you're just a innocent bystander. I mean, the battle gales are always fun. Battle gales are some of the most cinematic things. Good battle gales are incredibly annoying and very impressive. Flying in formation with things that unwieldy. They both have a repair aura, which means they are repairing each other. If they get more than a few dozen meters away, the repair no longer works. And that's part of the whole strat here. Oh my god. What is all this? The air is filled with galaxies. I mean, some at flight ceiling, 1,000 meters up, where most players won't even notice them when they're dropping out their payloads. Well, the Terrans. So, unlike a standard alert in Planetside 2 on the live servers, there's no third faction to distract or contest. There's no, like, the NC are at 80%, so we all double team them. No. They can focus all their efforts on making sure the Terrans pay for their hubris. And pay they will. I will actually, while we are on a delay, if anyone watching live has any questions about Planetside, I'll try to answer them here, as while there might be some more cinematic moments, unfortunately in a match of this scale, it is all but a certainty. It is a physical impossibility for the Terran Republic to recover. Their gamble just not paying off. Another drop, fighting over Moss Ridge Command Center. Awesome, beautiful at night. Also a pain to fight on the ground because it's darker. Each continent has its own like basic attributes, like a basic level of brightness. Austin is very dark. I think it's actually been, the darkness has been nerfed several times in Planetside history. Also, you can mess around with your graphic settings if you'd like.
Hostile galaxy in the area. Enemy air transport spotted.
The war continues because in Planetside, remember, there's no prizes but pride on the line. We fight to kill, to die, to fight again. Maybe a little bit better the next time. Huge attack here at Woodman. This is the base I originally thought was going to be the main focus.
Clear out
Very
of
easy
that
to
area.
hold,
You are
but
in
and a
restricted
choke point.
area.
But it didn't end up going this direction. It really didn't.
Enemy medic spotted. Stay alert. Enemy air transport spotted. Enemy medic spotted. Eyes open. Enemy heavy.
Victory has not eluded us. Fight harder.
Just saw an enemy medic.
In this game, how do lowly infantry communicate with the commander? That's a good question, especially in an event like this. So for this special event, there are massive TeamSpeak servers. Remember, they have to hold hundreds of players set up. The way the chain of command works is there's a force commander and an assistant force commander. For example, right now on the winning team, the force commander is... making sure I get it right. Is for team killing. Important to note that is a team name and not just a sentence. Is Falcon. They usually have assistant force commanders who divide up dozens of platoons, which are up to 48 players, I'd imagine. I don't know exactly how they set it up, but those platoons on the live server are 48 players, divided up into 4 squads of 12. So usually you have a force commander, assistant force commanders, platoon leaders, then squad leaders, and within squads sometimes there are fire team leaders, which are further divisions down to like 3 or 4 players. Usually what'll happen is the force commander communicates with assistant force commanders and the platoon leaders. The platoon leaders relay information both to the force commanders. Yeah, have I said it enough? The FCs. And they make more strategic calls, like go for this base, you go for this, like, for example, platoons 3 through 6 go for Woodman ASE Labs. And then it's up to the platoon leaders to tell the squad leaders how to do that. It's up to the squad leaders to tell the infantry exactly how to do that. So it becomes progressively more
The Terran
micro-oriented.
Republic has taken the facility.
The Terrans fight back. A good battle here at Woodman. Unfortunately, they're still looking at 14% territory. Going into... I don't know if the timers... I was a little afraid that my timer would be slightly off because we didn't start it exactly on time. I just estimated. But even if I'm up to 5 minutes off on the timer, I don't think that's going to affect the outcome. And usually, if one team is in a obvious position with about 15 minutes left, the other force commanders will forfeit. Though it has been a great battle. I'm not sure what our numbers ended up being. I don't know if we're at our peak right now, but I assume near the start is when. Did we break the record, is the question. But yeah, on the live server, I'm just going to use my outfit as an example. There are a series of chat channels that work quite well, surprisingly, in the game. There's a command chat channel where squad leaders can have a more macro discussion, though that isn't always productive. There's a platoon leader, squad leaders. Different outfits and different organizations have different rules or like protocol for that. Usually the squad leaders will dictate to the platoon leader whether or not they think what they're doing is good. The infantry people be like your average infantryman, your sweaty 4KD heavy will say 3 maxes right door or something like that. Your standard callouts, but it goes all the way up to like 2 platoons, Woodman ASE labs. That's part of the reason I keep coming back. Is not like Planetside is a solid FPS game, but I don't think it's particularly groundbreaking. I don't think it's the best FPS outright, but it is the only game of its kind. It's the only game where you can play an RTS with real people. Like what about Eximius? I mean, like at this scale. And microing your Marines either becomes harder or easier depending on how good they are and how well set up your chain of command is.
Generator repaired.
Why are you dropping on a hill? Did the galaxy die? It does look like it. He kicked him out. I gotta say, while the warp gate play, I probably would have liked to see it a little closer to the end, but it probably that way they had an opportunity and they were working towards that warp gate play for a while. I don't know if that was the plan from the start or just an opportunistic thing, but the NC focused on a wider front, especially on the southern flank. Because, of course, since there's only 2 factions, we just had drawn down the center. And I think overall, just the dividing and conquering is usually better. But they were looking to essentially get a regicide annexation victory by just cutting off the entire map and bringing NC to 0%. Which, that is the most, in any of these community smashes, that is the most dramatic play I've seen, because it was possible. I've seen dramatic plays from teams that were probably going to lose, so might as well make them. That was a dramatic play when it was still kind of relatively even. Maybe the Terrans were in a little bit of a tough position, but it was by no means over. So that is why I think it almost worked. Is because there was that, like, wait, are they actually going for this? And the NC were a little slow to react. But here we are. The NC reacted quick enough.
Will you truly allow yourself to lose?
It's kind of like in StarCraft. In StarCraft, sometimes players will, like, pull the SCVs, right? But if you do that when the game's pretty even, when both sides have a similar economy, and have similar army, sometimes it'll catch players off guard. Like, oh my, wait, what are you? Because you're gambling, you're betting it all on one big attack, and a lot of players aren't, and a lot of commanders aren't always prepared for it. It definitely could have fallen apart for the NC if the Force Commander didn't have a good handle on how to communicate, because they needed to organize enough people at each of their warp gate bases while still having a presence on the map. Oh my god. Alright, I'm sorry. Cinematic time. It's beautiful. Welcome to Planetside. Beautiful death.
Shield generator critical.
Victory has not eluded us. Fight hard.
Enemy medic spotted. Enemy heavy spotted.
Generator destroyed.
Will you truly allow yourself to lose? A new conglomerate has taken the facility. Vano is with you. Do not falter. Rise to the moment you can prevail.
Generator stabilized.
I thought with the outcome almost certainly, no, entirely certainly decided we just enjoyed the scale of Planetside. In fact, it's relatively contained because the TR only have so many bases to fight at. Earlier on, fighting along 12 base fronts. But I hope that gets you a little appreciation. It is the worst. Okay, let me try that again. Planetside is not the best FPS. It has a lot of bugs, maybe some design decisions you don't agree with, though do benefit a lot of people and have interesting connotations. It could use a lot more love. It has a long and checkered history,
Show them.
and it's the best game of its kind by a large margin. And as you can see, credit, by the way, to the Terran Republic. This is, like, their gambit failed. Their gamble resulted in them getting beat down, and the result will not reflect the drama we saw here today. But Planetside isn't just about winning, it's about fighting. And a good fight from the Terrans, a good effort, and even continuing through, it looks like, to the time limit. They've now decided, instead of attacking bases, they will be doing some pancaking strategies. A favorite of experienced Galaxy pilots everywhere. But I had fun. I hope you did as well. I don't know exactly how much time is left, but we are within, according to my timer, 0 seconds, but I may have been off slightly, which would have been awkward if it wasn't 88-10, with one base cut off so no one owns it. Yeah. I have a basic guide on the first few levels. There are people with more modern guides, so not too much has changed. If you've watched through this point and you've never played Planetside, pretty much I'm talking to the YouTube video now. So like and subscribe, for one. But if you watch through to this point, and you're not just skipping to the end to see who wins, remember, 1, it's not about winning. 2, well, you should play. You should have already downloaded it. Okay, like, if you watched an hour of this, you could have already... It's not a huge game. It's like 15 gigs and then maybe a few more to update. You can get it on Steam for free. And you do not need to pay for anything to be a competent soldier. Unfortunately, it does seem that way because it is one of the hardest games to get into. I have a tendency to like those kind of games. Essentially, you have a battlefield where you could have 1 Bronze Leaguer against 15 Grandmasters in the same room. And there's nothing stopping you besides a little bit of basic common sense. And the precious, rare sense of ethics of those Grandmasters. You will be thrown into a battle with people who have played this game longer than your average Minecraft player has been alive. Okay, that's probably not true, but, like, you get the idea. You will try to fly aircraft. And if the ground doesn't kill you, someone who has flown aircraft more than you've ever played games will. You will shoot someone whose back is to you. Put what you think is 10 bullets into them, they're going to turn around and you'll die before you even see it coming. There will be explosions from every direction, including beneath you, somehow. There will be attacks from every angle. You'll find 1,000 ways to die, and then you'll do it all again if you make it that far. But if you survive all that, you might find something, because the game, it is a first-person shooter, probably first and foremost, but there are a lot of aspects. Some players just do construction, of which was not part of this event, because it is a more, like, open-world thing, as opposed to a competitive nature. Outfits have perks as well. Like, if you used to play 5-6 years ago, outfits were a glorified friend list. Outfits now have access to an armory, which has a wide array of options, from pulling in small vehicles to a Bastion fleet carrier, The NSO update means that even if you have all the weapons and stuff years ago, you've got a new set, a bunch of new weapons, a new aircraft, my favorite, the Dervish, and a new character to level up. It's relatively easy to get XP if you know what you're looking for. And there are a lot of different options, but the classics work. Reviving people, motion sensors, transport. There are daily missions that can help you get more XP, and occasionally you get weapons.
Clear out of that area.
Daily missions, like daily quests, stuff like that. Anywhere from take a harasser from the warp gate to wherever, and kill 12 medics, like your generic, but also fun missions. It does seem, by the way, under my eyes, the battle was trickling down, that the new conglomerate, Team Killing, will be your victors. The timer has run out. The battle has been won. The gamble to annex Hassan has failed. And with a total of 88% to 10, the winner of the largest community smash will be the new conglomerate. Falcune. I don't know. Are we gathering somewhere? We will see. Occasionally, people will gather on other continents, or maybe Sanctuary. We'll take a look. A massive battle at the Ascent. We'll go take a look at that. But I think it was a lot of fun. Honestly, I'm really enjoying the new graphics updates for spectating. It's not, as ever, while the game is better optimized than it was, probably turning all the graphics to max is not the best for getting the highest FPS in a battle. I will admit that. But we'll take a look at the celebratory battle. And congratulations, the new conglomerate. And I'm going to try, we'll see if we broke the player record. We did have a bit of a rough start. And I hope you enjoyed my coverage of it. Always a fun event. It looks like we are going to nuke the Ascent out of orbit. Well, it's actually out off the planet. We're going to take this mountain down. It appears that the admins have got the orbital strike magic marker. And NANITE systems back at it again. We'll nuke both the Ascent and our GPUs into oblivion. It appears we hit 11,004 players. Not 11,000. That would break everything. 1,104 players. So, I don't believe that breaks the overall record. But I believe it is, especially recently, the largest community smash. Oh my god, are we... Yeah, there we go again. Oh my god, let there be light. Jesus. God, I do love that orbital strike animation, as annoying as it can be while you're on the ground. So, one of the largest battles in Planetside history. 1,100 players seems to be the number. Drama, excitement. I gotta say, like, rarely is something so obviously like... Goodbye, my child. Ooh. Rarely is something so such a dramatic... If it had worked, though, I'm sure people will be talking about it for a while. It's the kind of strategy that everyone will have strong opinions on. I personally, it definitely lost the event. It lost the battle. But I haven't seen something quite... There have been dramatic plays like that in Community Smash, but rarely is it so clear-cut of, like, do or die. And the Terran Republic does end up dying, but still. Made it a lot of fun for everyone. I'm kind of sitting around waiting to see if there's anything else I want to cover. Thank you again to Corrales for organizing. For everyone, including my outfit, who participated. Oh, it is on, yes, according to Voidwell, we were looking at... Okay, the grand total, we'll go over the statistics here. I didn't know this worked for the Jaeger server. For those who don't know, Voidwell is one of the best sites for finding information about Planetside, from how many players to what guns they're using, etc., etc. So, with a grand total of... Wow, like on the dot. Vanu would be people like me in this. Why do the Vanu have one vehicle kill? Anyways, the total statistics. The new conglomerate with 14,859 kills, as well as 14,312 deaths. Just for reference, now here's an interesting stat. Despite being named Team Killing, the NC with 15 less, only 1,238 team kills. To the TR's 1253. 12,583 kills for the TR, who were thrown into the meat grinder. 16,100 deaths. So that gives with 1,491 vehicle kills, 1,433 for the TR. The KDR ends up being 1.04 for the new conglomerate, and the Terran Republic at 0.78. Headshot ratio 24-5, 24-1. Let's see. The kills, heavy assault, grabbing the vast majority of the kills, as you might expect. Do we have... Oh, the top players is now... Of course, not everyone has their normal name because of the custom server accounts. The numbers are going up, which is... It might be counting Amaresh right now. So it might be slightly skewed in this last part of the event. But 168 kills, 156, landing it kills per minute of over 2 to 3, which is kind of insane even for a major event. The top outfit is the Toes outfit. Say goodbye to your toes, followed by Boys Can Be Cute Too. And then a variety past that. Oh wait, that's average kills, not overall kills. That goes to BCBC. As well as Farmed by Salty Russians, who was also up there. The Gauss Saw, you heard me talking about that before. The Gauss Saw, the most popular weapon, getting over 2,000 kills more than any other weapon, including the MSWR, the most popular LMG from the Terran Republic. Wow. C4 coming in at a strong 700 kills. The top vehicles, of course, Galaxies, followed by Sunders and Valkyries. It looks like these stats are... Oh my god. I'm sorry, I heard orbital strikes are... Oh my god, the Cordium is spawned in the air. The orbital strikes land on the Cordium. I think they're trying to make a very dramatic air show here. This is a weird dance. It's a very surreal... The minerals are in the air! For those who don't know about construction in Planetside, you mine minerals to make bases. This is a confusing concept. All right. Well, if this was your first time watching Planetside or watching in the recent past, I hope you enjoyed it. You can play now for free. I'll humbly advertise my outfit, the winter gaming outfit, as you might expect. We play usually Saturdays and Tuesdays, but most days. And all you have to do is be a few levels in to join. And of course, there are many outfits that are accepting of newer players or returning players as well that play on a regular basis. No, Planetside 2 is not dead. Planetside 2, just because your teenagers who are playing the flavor FPS of the month decide it is, because they can't pretend to be an esports pro gamer in 2021, doesn't mean that the best MMO FPS in the world is going anywhere. So thank you to the organizers. Thank you to the developers at Rogue Planet Games. Thank you to you for watching. And congratulations to the new conglomerate, the team members, commanders, and everyone in between. Thank you, Corrales, for organizing. And thank you for watching. Good luck, have fun.
You did not
I'll
fail,
see you.
Manu. You failed yourself.
Planetside. Stay chill.